When Ethan stumbles across a strange building in the middle of the forest, his curiosity is immediately piqued. He notices that the building has no doors or windows. With a lot of effort, he manages to get a look inside and see what's going on. But moments later, he starts running away from it as fast as he can. Only when he's at a safe distance does he call the police for help. Driven by an unstoppable curiosity, Ethan was determined to see inside. He made a simple ladder from a strong tree branch using a Swiss Army knife. After much effort, he climbed up to a large barred opening on the second floor. Peering through, he was shocked by the sight of strange machines quietly humming inside. His heart raced with a mix of excitement and fear. Suddenly, a voice from inside startled him, causing him to lose his balance and fall. The fall hurt his shoulder, but adrenaline pushed him to run away in fear for his safety. Once at a safe distance, Ethan called the police to report his unsettling discovery. His voice, filled with urgency and fear, showed how serious the situation was. The police, at first doubtful, were quickly convinced by Ethan's story and rushed to the scene. When they arrived, they found Ethan visibly shaken, but able to describe the strange building clearly. The officers, curious and concerned, surrounded the structure. One officer climbed a ladder to look inside, confirming Ethan's fears. The situation was more alarming than expected, prompting the police to call for backup. Ethan had felt something was wrong during his hike, and his suspicions grew when he spotted the building. It was out of place in the wilderness, looking well kept and built with modern materials, yet it had no normal entry points. Driven by curiosity, Ethan wanted to see inside, even though the building's design made it hard. The police, armed and cautious, entered the building and found a scene far more disturbing than Ethan's initial description. The building's remote location and lack of entry points raised questions about its purpose and who was inside. The police's quick response and call for reinforcements showed how serious the situation was, leaving Ethan's discovery a mystery. When Ethan shared pictures and his location with the officers, their interest grew, suggesting he might not have been lying. They decided to send officers to investigate. However, the map showed no clear path to him, requiring either a 3-hour walk or a day's drive, both impractical during the busy season. The only option was to use a helicopter, a decision that proved wise given the urgency Ethan conveyed. 5 officers were flown to the location in just 15 minutes. The helicopter flew high to avoid being seen, but the officers couldn't spot the house Ethan described at first. As the helicopter lowered, they finally saw it and landed. The helicopter returned to base, ready for emergency pickups. Once on the ground, the captain met Ethan, who was visibly shaken, and pointed towards the roof as their entry point. Ethan had been watching the house and believed the suspicious man he encountered was still inside. The captain assigned positions. 3 officers guarded entrances, while he and another officer tried to get a clear view. Ethan watched in silence, worried about the situation and hoping he was wrong about his suspicions. The officers came up with a plan to see inside, but couldn't tell what was happening. The interior was filled with machines, but showed no signs of people, confirming Ethan's account. Silence replaced the expected chaos, prompting the officers to act. They decided to enter through a hole, armed but aiming to avoid violence. Inside, they noticed the building's modern design and unnatural coldness, raising questions about its purpose. Their search led them to a powerful air conditioning system, puzzling given the building's remote location and lack of visible entrance. The officers wondered how the place was powered and how people had accessed it. The man Ethan encountered was a key figure, and it seemed the building had been quickly cleared out. They wondered where the man had gone and what he had taken. As they explored, they found more signs of illegal activity. The captain called for specialists to investigate further. Meanwhile, they kept inspecting the building, aware that the culprits might escape before help arrived. Just as they were about to give up, an officer found a trap door, showing an escape route. The suspects had fled in a hurry, leaving the latch open. Two officers explored the tunnel, reporting it seemed endless. The captain was pleased they might solve the case before specialists arrived. He updated the team, and the officers entered the tunnel to continue their investigation. The officers shared a common thought. If they hurried, they might catch the suspects. They entered the tunnel, weapons ready, and chased after the suspects. If the building had been cleared, the suspects would be moving slowly. Picking up their pace, the officers reached what seemed to be the end of the tunnel in 10 minutes. They paused at the unexpected sight before them. The tunnel ended with a ramp leading into a similar building hidden by another trap door. The officers frowned, realizing they needed a plan, as this door was newer and properly secured. While debating their next steps, they heard something behind the door. Seeing the opportunity, they drew their weapons and moved quietly to the entrance, listening carefully. They heard movement. Someone was moving things below and had just unlatched the door. Counting to 3, they burst through the trap door, shouting for everyone to freeze. The officers aimed their guns at their target, a terrified man loading a truck. With his hands up, he surrendered. With the man in custody, the situation became clear. He explained that the building was an old factory that lost its permit soon after construction and was abandoned after years of appeals. However, this didn't explain the secret entrance. The man revealed that the building served as hidden storage for product ingredients, a secret kept by the owner. The tunnel and factory had been discovered, inspiring the group to use it for other purposes. At first, it seemed like a lost opportunity. Local kids described it as a haunted house, and the group thought it would be perfect for private fun. Upon discovering the hidden building, they realized it was ideal for their business, unknown to law enforcement. Once settled in the interview room, the man was willing to talk. He explained that the operation was a giant crypto farming scheme, stealing power and utilities to run data mining machines and storage computers. The police listened as the story unfolded. The man admitted his role was to check the processor and ensure it ran properly. He had been doing just that when he spotted Ethan. Seeing no other option, he wiped down the entire place, trying to remove evidence and fingerprints. He added that he hoped to move the equipment to a safer location and restart the operation. He had bet on a 24-hour window. If the police had driven to the location with nothing to hide, he cooperated fully. Finding the other members was easy. The man was eager to share, and most of the evidence was already in place. The case went to trial, and all illegal profits were taken by the state. Ethan was rewarded with a front-page commendation for finding and reporting the case. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the notification bell so you never miss another unbelievable tale like this one.